Is that what you saw on Saturday? You know, that
was a very well organized program. It was like a fanfare, one that brought together delegates from 270 something constituencies.
We are focused on making
from
sure
16 regions.
We are not looking for people who rather than
brought the NDC fraternity together.
Using fisticuffs.
And we're excited to see each other and to be in each other's company.
You showed the video.
Yeah, but they didn't have
Gabriela has been trying to avoid what the issues are, saying everybody and all that. If really these two people you are talking about as youth organizers have this following, and you are saying the people that caused the mayor were supporters, they couldn't talk to their supporters to behave well. If they have such command, they couldn't talk to their supporters to behave well. And in 2022, going to 2023, we still have youth involving themselves in such conduct. Gabriela, I think we can do better than
At least
that is what the NDC has citizens and Ghanaians
in
have seen it.
They are not security men in camouflage uniforms holding military guns and ID cards.
Gabriela, no matter how
she
you
says,
tell me, that was unfortunate.
Madam, please,
that was
you all the time in the world.
And let's
she said, when you have government in power, unfortunate is not enough. You have to show that you are responsible.
That's
you can't just condemn.
Look at it.
You can't just condemn. You have to show.
Look at the screen.
What is wrong with this?
There's nothing wrong with this.
What is this?
Wow. Everybody has said it. There's nothing wrong with what is on the screen.
She says,
there's nothing wrong with what is on the screen.
She says, compared to Sechiman's house.
No, Gabriela,
compared to Sechiman's house.
There's nothing wrong with what happened on Saturday. Young
people, soldiers dressed in military camouflage, pretending to be soldiers.
Please.
Killed 8 innocent Ghanaians.
Really?
Wow. And then we will
the alternative is really scary.
But when a government in power unleashes military personnel on citizens who have done nothing wrong except to monitor an electoral process.
To be fair to the military, we're not sure if they were really military men. So
but they came in uniform.
Yes, but
they came in guns.
Yeah, alleged military men.
So then the Ghana military should tell us 2 years after the event who the people were who went where, who they were. They should tell us who they were.
So if they don't tell you, continue referring to them as military men. I mean, I feel if you haven't been able identify them as military men, you.
I mean, what are you saying?
you don't.
Are you serious? Now she's saying that the YEA has recruited some immigration personnel and prison personnel. And maybe that is what I'm talking about. But you said there's a freeze.
500 no, that was
said there's a freeze.
The freeze is starting from 2020. These people have been recruited on a model of YEA. They are going to go through a 2-year training.
Okay.
And
so there are 2 years.
I don't see how the official communication and Gabriela wants to move with word
okay. Don't worry.
You are moving from official communication and going with word.
So your 2 years doesn't fall between your 2023 and your 2024. When you are supposed to be having a net freeze.
Gabriela.
Oh,
Laura, you can do better than
that.
But at least
everybody
has seen that you condone violence. I don't know you to be a violent person. So you
out of 1,800 people who came to the program. You want to measure on 15 people.
And you said this was small hiccups.
Compare this to Sechiman's house.
You're really making me sad this
morning. Compare to Sechiman's house.
I don't know you to be a violent person. Now I need to be very careful when I'm sitting close to you because with these plastic chairs and all that, God.
Laura,
this is sad.
At least to be plastic chair is far better than to be trapped with the guy.
This is the future of the NDC.
This is the youth on your part to make it look like the whole Congress was looking like this.
I asked you.
This is something that lasted within 5 minutes.
No, Annie, I asked you. Gabriela should tell us what was contained in the victory speeches of the women organizer.
Look.
Was there any form of unity? Was there any form of condemnation of what happened in their victory speeches?
I was standing right next to them.
Tell us what he said.
Every incumbent, when they are going into a contest, believe that at least for their hard work, their passion, their dedication, if for nothing at all, somebody should not contest. But sometimes, and very often, you are not lucky, you find yourself a match. And in both instances, they were each presented with a match. Margot versus Hannah Pablo versus Broja Jeffrey.
Madam, I'm asking the content of their victory. Now, this one that you are going, we don't have time. Tell us their victory speeches. Did they condemn what happened and all that?
Everybody has their match.
The alternative is scary.
You go for a contest. The delegates decide
with the days
who it is that they want.
People, horse whips at congresses.
I went into a contest last month.
They move from whips to plastic chairs.
I've been in the NDC since the year 2000 as an activist. My colleague, who was the acting regional communication officer, and his team were saying that they don't know what I've done at region, but yet I come from a constituency in the region. They don't know what I've done at region. According to them, I'm going to enjoy at national, and I'm now coming to region to come and enjoy what is left.
What were you enjoying?
And I was asking myself, so the 20 years that I was sacrificing in Awutu Senya West and in my branch, what was I doing? And even if I was serving at national, was I not still supporting the NDC? So somehow you go into a contest, because of the kind of competition that you meet, they say all kinds of things. If you are not very thick-skinned, in fact, you think that the whole system is up against you. 3 days to my election, they brought another candidate. I felt at that point, I felt like the system was against me because I believe that I had the numbers on my side. But the person they were bringing was from one of the constituencies where I have my base. So sometimes when you're going into a contest and all kinds of things come up, it's part of the contest. Hannah and Pablo, obviously, I know how hard they have both worked. And I know that for people who have put in that kind of effort, especially for a party in opposition, they would have expected that they would not have gone through this kind of stress. But it is the competition, and it's a democratic process. It is part of the process. They will not agree with all the processes.
They didn't get a unity message from them.
No, what I'm saying,
there was a unity message. Hannah said that she doesn't want anybody to go through what she has gone through. And the main thing that we were using against Hannah was that because she always has the women organizer position, and then she still has this NPPC thing around her in her constituency, that she's unable to really focus on either of those tasks. And so if they give her the mandate again, she should focus on either she wants to be women's organizer or she wants to be a parliamentary candidate. Okay? And that was where the rift for Hannah's position came from. Pablo's case, I think the argument they were making was that we want somebody who's more forceful, more aggressive. And they thought Broja brought that. It's a choice for delegates to make. By the end of the day, the delegates made the choice
earlier before
they wanted.
You came into the studio, I said I heard Pablo making a statement that he is watching any leader who will come to him and tell him what to do. And that for me was not a good statement coming from Pablo, a youth leader.
You see, I said, when you are a leader in a party in opposition, and you know the struggle, you struggle to find resources for your branch or your organization, you expect that at least the system should be malleable to you. You understand? The system should be more favorable to you for all your sacrifices and your efforts, and not bring you contests. But this is a democratic process. This is a democratic process. You don't really have much of a choice if somebody comes and says, I want to contest for this position. Nominations were opened. Everybody had a right to show interest. Those who showed interest came to the table. You may not like the way they campaigned, but that was that style of campaign. You adapt or you fight back. So, I mean, but at the end of the day, what I found admirable about both Pablo and Hannah, at the end of the day, Hannah said she'll draw Margot to her. They'll work together. She told her deputies that they are going to enjoy the ride together. Hannah, everybody knows she's fearless, she's hardworking, she's passionate, and she's fiercely loyal to NDC. You can't take that away from Hannah. That is who Hannah is. Pablo, he's strong, he's bold, he's articulate. Some people think that he should be more forceful and more aggressive in his approach. But his demeanor also speaks to how his leadership style is. At the end of the day, he said there was no Broja camp, there was no Pablo camp. Now the elections is over. The delegates have decided there is only one youth wing of the NDC. And that should be the focus of the youth and the women. That should be the focus of the youth and the women. Because at the end, they will need all their energies
but
to mobilize the youth and women of this country to support the NDC.
How do you see their unity? I mean, in reality, how do you see their unity after these elections? Were they that divided that uniting is going to be difficult? Because they are the youth, or they're leading the youth, it's important for us to know, you know,
everybody and how quick they heal from
she said it's their
losses.
Supporters that went
everybody and how quick they heal from their losses. They won. So I don't think that the pain or the stress of the campaign will cause that much rift between them. Broja is still Broja. He still has his base. He's still a communicator for the NDC. And this is not the first time Broja has gone to a national youth election. He was there 4 years ago, and this is the second time contesting the same position. After that election, did anything happen to Broja? Nothing. He was still participating in NDC activities. He was still very vibrant, very active. And the same goes with Margot as well. She contested as a parliamentary candidate in Suhum right after 2016, when we didn't make the elections and we weren't voted back into power, and she didn't make it to parliament. Did she stop serving the NDC? She didn't. So at the end of the day, it's just like we always say, at the end of the day, we'll find our way back to each other.
You have to, because 17,
worry
I
about
hope
yourself.
we are not seeing those things. So unless you want us to start campaigning for you people to sign code of conduct before you go to your grounds.
The person who needs to sign code of conduct is your Akufo-Addo, who orders military people to go and shoot civilians.
Please, let's talk about.
Now we should talk about.
You are the ones going for Congress. You are the ones who've gone to use
I
I
don't think that it's fair for you to put it the way you put it. That he ordered. No.
No, but you know, Gabriela,
it matters. When you make such a statement, you are even, I think it's on offense to the military.
Do you know?
Because already let's
be realistic about something. Do you know that because of the issues with the last general election, the youth of the NDC today are even more aggressive than the youth of the NDC 2016 to 2020.
They will be, because you didn't give them your results. Did you give them your final
situation
results?
Got them that way.
Did you give them your final results?
When you say aggressive,
so date, have you been able to give them your? Have you been able to give them your final
and that is this. That is this outcome. This is just a
so
pocket.
What are you going to do about it? Because we can't have.
When you have a government that can assure its citizens that they will not unleash military men,
and you don't let them
they will
know
not unleash military men on them on an election.
Don't be aggressive.
When those people are going to an election, any election, they'll be calm. They'll be peaceful. But when they know that there's a possibility that they can be threatened,
can you give them the number of votes you
aggressive.
Collated? Can you give them the number of votes you collated? They put you there.
Is that the mindset
an election
they
for
have?
Them?
The youth
have you been able
NDC
to give them the number
of
votes
something to you? But if the Lord doesn't hold me, I'll insult you this morning.
Please don't insult me.
Gabriela, is this RCO? I think
that's your new.
Is this RCO position? I think we need to relook at it.